Before John introduces Innsbruck, I want to say something about some really special people who put this together. You have no idea what it takes to get people from all over the country together to do a project like this and the behind-the-scenes things that go on.
Not bad for 2 days rehearsal.
And the wonderful conducting and leadership that we've had from Julie and Kim especially, and Kim and Jane. Come out here, Kim and Jane. These people, especially Kim and Jane, I want to tell you, this was Kim's passion. And I know he had a lot to do with the 96 reunion, too. Because of our love of Emily, and Kim knows that he went to work for this a long time ago. God bless the internet. Everybody hold your hand up and say, whatever God you believe in, God bless Facebook, because that's how this thing got going around. And that's why Chris, our web guy, oh my gosh, John, our techie guy, Scott, where are you, Scott? Come down here, Scott. Our sound and tech and radio guy, doing some very cool things and setting up a website that's going to be done in the future here, and organizing pictures and bringing food in for us. Some of us came flying in by the seat of our pants in the middle of the second day, the first day, and it's like, there's food, there's coffee, Jane and Kim hauling things back and forth. Jane up and down, playing the piano, doing this running around. Kim picking the music out, going through tons of music and versions, and Chris setting up every one of these, finding them on PDFs, all but 4 of them, going through the Coral Public Domain Library so that we could have these pieces. Julie bringing them from her college in Georgia so that we could have these pieces. People who went through and helped us find copies of, originals, so we were all singing the same versions. And the amount of things that have gone on, you just can't fathom what it was and what it means to all of us to have had all of you do this. Thank you.
In the same spirit, I'd like to personally thank, on behalf of everyone here, Don Lowe and your family. Could you stand, please? If you want to say something, this is the. Please. We want to thank you and your family, because I know that she missed birthdays and anniversaries and all of this stuff and funerals to be investing in us. And if it wasn't for your sacrifice, she wouldn't have been free to give so much to so many for so long. So.
Don's spaghetti sauce.
Oh.
Don made the best spaghetti sauce ever. Emily had us over to her house for parties, and Don made the spaghetti.
I was privileged to be a fly on a wall and listen to all the conversations. And it's kind of funny, because most people value money, or they value stuff, or they value a title on a business card. But it seems everyone in the group was bragging about how much time they got to spend with Emily. We value the time that we weren't even smart enough at the time to realize how much value she was instilling into us. But that's how, in retrospect, we consider value. She lived as if every day was making history. This group was in England during the royal wedding. This group was in England in Sheffield when the SS Sheffield was destroyed in the Falkland War. This group was in England when Margaret Thatcher was elected and my host father was counting ballots. Kim and I were in England for the 900th year on Stratford-upon-Avon. You don't realize you're making history at the time. Emily had a passion for music, but a soft spot for polyphonic music. The music you're hearing, everything is almost chaotic, but it all fits if the tempo is right and the pitch is right and the sound is right. But what singers really understand is we rely on each other's parts. If we sing Fair Phyllis, Fair Phyllis, we come in the same dynamic, the same tempo. We're imitators by nature. But it's really a marvelous thing when you have an innovator leading you. She was the part, that predecessor that all of us relied on for so long. It's our job now to be the predecessor to another generation. And I give you my word, and I know I'm speaking on behalf of all of these folks here, it's not going to end here. I'd like to thank Eastern Michigan University for having the wisdom to hire her and to keep her and to not cut program, to do what everything else is. I know it was tough and they're political, but we never heard that stuff, really. She never brought the politics into it. I'd like to thank Dr. Diane Winder. Dr. Diane Winder, is she still here?
In the back.
Winder. I'd like to thank Dr. Beth Everett for being so hospitable. I know you have no idea how many conversations took place between Kim and you guys for allowing us to use the facilities for free. Thank you. Places are great. This is where we were when all our hearts were still tender. This next song is about a place and a man. Innsbruck is a little port town in Germany, and they understood back then, probably more than we do now, that you don't just leave a place, you leave the community and the church and your family and all of these things, and that they were closer knit back then. So it was a far harder thing to leave. What's worse is to not know if you're ever going back again.